Better Stuff. Just looking at my phone here. So
we're everywhere. Yeah, we're on Teach Better Stuff everywhere. And we're live, so we're
live now.
Live.
Okay.
What's up, everyone? Jeff Gargas here with the Teach Better team. I've got my good friend Dave Schmittou, and we are chatting about Dave's new book, which just came out yesterday.
Yesterday.
Yeah. We've been talking about it for a while because it's been on pre-order, but yesterday was the official launch, which is really cool, really exciting. I'm trying to find our live video in our group, and it's not showing up yet. But super excited for you, man. This is awesome. I remember when we launched our book, the excitement that went around it. So I have an idea of where you're at and how you're feeling. This is your third book, though.
It is.
So this is like, at this point, it's just kind of like,
no, it's not. It's not. No, the first one was kind of an experiment. I kind of wanted to see what the process was like, and it was super cool. But the second one didn't do a big launch. It was really a soft launch and just kind of put it out there to see what would happen. And it came out right before the school year started in August, late August last year. So I was kind of overwhelmed with starting the school year and didn't really get to focus in on the book and all that. This has been a whole new world for me. I mean, especially just having you guys in my life now, completely, it's been a different world, and it's been amazing.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah, it's been really cool. It's been an honor for us, as a team, to be able to do whatever we can to help support you and cheer you on during this and stuff. So it's been really, really cool to see happening there. I want to say hi to a few people. Good morning, Ray. Good to see you. Joe wants to know what's for breakfast. We were just talking how we're both. I think it was Dave's goal. I think I'm going to have the same goal today, though. Dave, is we're going to go, Joe. We're going to go right from coffee to cocktails. We're just going to go right into it because Dave and I will be here again live today at 4:00 Eastern time, talking cocktails and randomness. So that's going to be going on as well. So good morning, Natalie. Good morning, Nikki. Ray's just commenting all over the place. Yeah, really. Ray says, missed you guys. It's only been a few hours.
It kind of feels like that long. Doesn't it feel like it's summer camp or something? We're all just hanging out, and it's pretty cool. I'll meet you guys at the link later on.
Good morning, Trisha. Yeah, so if you were with us last night in the networking event, drop a comment. Let us know how that was. It was a lot of fun. We were just talking about it beforehand, and Dave, you were there. We're gonna get into your book, but I just want to touch on this real quick. Where were you at? What two sessions did you attend last night? Because you had two. So we had this networking event for anybody that wasn't there. There was two different breakout sessions, and you signed up for two, and you got to go in, and they were really facilitated conversations. Yeah. So which two were you in last night?
Well, I got to hang out with two of the most amazing people on the planet. I started off with Ray, learning all about feedback and how to deliver it and how to receive it, both to kids and adults, which was phenomenal. And then I got to hang out with you, and we talked about the power of social media and how to leverage it with both your students and your staff and your community. It was great.
That's awesome. Ray says #Team Schmittou.
She spelled
good morning,
it correctly.
Holly. What's that?
And she spelled Schmittou correctly.
She knows how to spell Schmittou. She just struggles with Ostrowski. So good morning to, let's see, in our group, we got Brienne. Good morning.
Can I comment on the fact that Liv is here? Because Liv is here.
Yes, please talk about.
She set her alarm. What is it, like 6 in the morning? There, she must have set her alarm at like 5:30 just to hang out and listen to this. Seriously, God bless you. You are an amazing, amazing human being.
You are super awesome. So, who else we got here? Shout out to Neil from last night. Yes, Neil was. I've heard so much about Neil and his session yesterday. Which, by the way, the whole thing last night was like Neil's idea. He came to Ray with this idea. And then Ray just took it and ran, and really made it come to life. But Neil was fantastic.
You can tell he's an administrator, can't you? I've got this great idea, and he passes it off and says, "No, make it." That's awesome.
You can tell he's a leader, the way he leads, and that's what I saw so many people take out of his session last night was the way that he leads and everything. So, good morning, Holly. Good morning, Maggie. And let's see, Kylie's in here. Alex is in here. I see someone. Joe says lots of Schmittou. I can't decide if that's a or like a beer.
That's what's for breakfast. That's what's for breakfast.
That's what's for breakfast. Is lots of Schmittou.
Lots of Schmittou.
Lots of Schmittou.
And for lunch and for dinner today.
I'm spending several hours with you today. I'm okay with that. I can think of a lot worse things to be doing. So, all right, Dave. So last night was awesome. It was great. Thanks for everyone who came out. Really, really cool. But today we're talking about your book. So let's talk about your book. I got it rolling across the bottom here. It's called Make an Assessment Work for Educators Who Hate Data But Love Kids.
Yeah.
So, which I think that's most educators, right? And that's what we've talked about in the past before. It's like, that's most educators, except for you, because you actually really love data. But you love data because you look at data differently than a lot of people do. And I can't remember when we were live. It might have been last week on Cocktails when you talked about this. I really love the way you kind of spin data in your head. So can you share that with us? Because I think that really it brings a lot of value to people if they can think through data the way that you think through data. Would you mind sharing sort of your thoughts on that?
Yeah, sure. And cut me off at any time. But I think data has been perverted, for lack of a better word, in schools over the last few years. I jokingly say it's become the new 4-letter word that we're not allowed to talk about in staff lounges anymore. We can't mention it in staff meetings. When somebody says data, it makes you cringe, almost like they dropped the F-bomb. And it's because of how we use it. All words take on their meaning based on the context and how they're used. And nowadays, it seems like data, when we use it in schools, is referring to RIT scores or scale scores or standard deviations or percentiles and a bunch of numbers that we use to then attach to a kid or to a teacher to then assign some sort of label. But data means so much more than just the label we assign to people. And, a perfect example, and this is going to sound completely out of left field, but I joke, I'm from Michigan, and I joke all the time about my feelings for that state to the south. I've got this feeling about the state to the south, Ohio, for those of you that don't know, but it's completely based off of a reputation, and it's based off of a label that I've assigned it. Well, yesterday, I made a drive from Michigan to here in Vermont. I'm hiding out in the mountains of Vermont at a little ski resort completely by myself and in isolation, and it's amazing. But as I drove from Michigan through Ohio and Pennsylvania, New York, I saw some of the most beautiful scenery I have ever seen. I went along the Lake Erie South Shore through the Adirondack Mountains, and it was gorgeous. And it's because I was able to actually see in real life the reality of the situation, and not just some label or some fictitious story I told myself about Ohio or Northwest Pennsylvania. It was gorgeous because I was able to take it in and see it through my own eyes. And that's data. One data point is I could go back and I could read the history books about the Rust Belt and read about the factories, and I could read about Lake Erie catching on fire, and I could paint this perception of that area in my head that I could then believe and resonate on, or I can just go see it for myself. In our schools, oftentimes we take all these numbers and these labels that have been assigned to kids, and we come up with these designations for what that kid is supposed to be, what they're going to be, what their future trajectory is going to be, and we use that label to predict futures and destinies. As opposed to just sitting down and seeing it for itself and having a conversation with the kids. And the book is not filled with RIT scores and percentiles and making sense of a bunch of statistics. It's just, how do you collect evidence of a kid's strength, a kid's weakness, and use that to make adjustments. And, Teach Better Team Talk, Ray is a perfect example. Ray tells her story, and she was telling it a little bit last night about how when she grew up, she had labels assigned to her. She was told she couldn't read. She had grades that maybe indicated she wasn't a successful learner. But we look at her today. And I would say we all agree that she is extremely successful and she's killing it because she's living within her strengths right now. And that's what the book is all about, is how do we really collect evidence of students' strengths and or struggles to instruct them where they are and to move them forward.
I love that. Can you give us maybe 1 or 2 ways that we can do that? Can we get a piece of the book right now? Can you give us sort of a preview? You don't have to go word for word. Like some of the tips or suggestions or methods and ways that we can do that are in the book. Yeah. And I don't have my copy yet, so I don't know exactly if that's even in the book necessarily, but it sounds like it is. So
there's
we're getting in now. We're diving deep now, like actual preview here, Teach Better Nation. So let's hear it, Dave.
So there are some things in this book that I'm going to be honest, I say some things to kind of poke the bear, just to try to get you to think and wrestle with, and then some things that I want you to take and move. I jokingly say all the time, you can't steer a parked car. So I do some things to try to get you moving so that then you can start steering, so you're not just sitting there lost in limbo land. But one of the things that I challenge people to do, and again, this is going to go against what a lot of schools do, and that's okay. I just want you to think about it and feel free to push back at any time. But the idea of formative and summative assessment is something that I talk about a lot. And I talk about it a lot in a way that is probably different than what most schools talk about. So what I tell people is I don't want you to label assessments as formative or summative before you actually give any kind of assessment, because when you do that, you limit its use, you limit its value. So what I tell people is all assessments are used formatively and summatively. It's not a formative and a summative assessment, because when you do that, you limit its use. For example, if I told this story just the other day when I was talking to Ray, but my kids go to a school. It's not the school system that I teach at or I work at. They're amazing people doing amazing things. However, in at least one of my kids' classrooms, the teacher has a grade book set up where there are formative assessments that count as 20% of the grade and summative count as 80%. And in their mind, what they're saying is the formative doesn't matter as much. It's assessments that probably aren't as high quality or aren't as rigorous or aren't as valuable. But a formative assessment, if we think about it in terms of how formative assessments are defined, a formative assessment informs our instruction. It tells us our next steps. Mm-hmm. So when we do that, what we're telling ourselves is we're taking assessments, or we're taking evidence that we're already designated as not great quality, not very good, not as valuable, and that's what we're doing. That's what we're using to inform our practice. And on the other end, we've got this summative data that we're saying is great, it's good quality, it's valid, but we can't use that to inform our practice because it's coming at the end, so there's nothing we can do with it. So what I tell teachers is try to eliminate those labels from your gradebook of formative and summative, and try to use all evidence as good evidence. Whether it's a conversation with a kid, whether it's a worksheet, whether it's a test, whether it's a quiz, whatever assessment you're using, you should be using formatively and summatively, and try to eliminate as many of those arbitrary weightings and those arbitrary scales or buckets or whatever you want to call them from your gradebook as possible, and just collect evidence of learning so that you can take your next steps.
I love that. Just looking at everything and not putting that label on it, but looking at every piece of that data, every piece of assessment that we gather as both formative and summative and direct. And because you're right, like if we put that predetermined value on it versus using it all to inform us and direct our next steps and how we're going to educate our students, like we can't do that because you don't know yet, right? You don't have that data yet.
There you
go.
You
don't know what you're going to be able to use and what you take it. So,
yeah.
I love that. What story are our students hearing from their teachers? What they hear becomes a narrative about themselves. And agreed, Ray is brilliant. Yes, Liv, she is brilliant. So,
true story.
Is there a link to his book? You can get it at schmittou.net, which I have going across there. You can also get it to Amazon. There's a link to Amazon on your site too. So can they order it straight from your site?
They will as soon as we're done here. I'm going to make sure that link is live. Okay. Yep. All
right. So schmittou.net. You just got to figure out how to spell Schmittou, and you can find Dave everywhere. So I have that going across the bottom so that you can spell it.
They can also use the bit.ly. There's a bit.ly available. It's the bit.ly/Schmittou. And that'll take them to Amazon. So it's capital S and Schmittou.
I'm going to put it in there. So you said bit.ly/Schmittou.
Schmittou with the capital S, and there you go.
All right, putting that out there as well. So that's there. So you can do that. So you can also, if you follow Dave on Twitter or Instagram, anything like that, you'll be able to see that stuff too. If you follow us, we'll be putting it out too. So you'll have the links to get it. And that is out. So I know some people, there's Alex putting out there too. So there's schmittou.net/order books by Dave with hyphens.
Boom.
I love it. And you are you're going live tonight too, right? With your EduMatch team, right?
That's true. Yeah, Mandy Freilich.
So tell us about that. What's going on? Oh, is that with Mandy?
It is, yeah.
Can I come?
So today's a good, well, come on down. Absolutely. It's going to be a fun day for me.
It's going to be a fun day for you, yeah.
Yeah, it's coffee, cocktails, Gargas, Freilich, and Ray's coming to the thing tonight too. It's going to be so much fun. Like, yeah.
Nice.
So EduMatch is kind of changing things up on how they're doing these launches and these celebrations. And we're going to do something very similar to this. We're going to hang out, just have a conversation, and bringing in people for an hour. Have Mandy send some invitations too, and we're going to just sit down and talk assessments, grading, just fun Wednesday summertime conversations.
I love it.
It's going to be good though. It's going to be great. I'm looking forward to it.
So that's going to be you, Mandy Freilich, and Ray. And then do we know yet? Are we allowed to talk about who else is coming, or is it the three? Or
secrets?
There's so total some special guests dropping in.
Six other people are joining us. Yeah, throughout the hour. It'll be fun.
And where's that going to be live on? Where's that streaming to?
I'll have it on all of my platforms. It's going to be on the EduMatch Facebook page, Twitter, YouTube. All of that stuff. That's at 7 Eastern.
7 Eastern time. And I assume EduMatch will be putting that on all their social media as well, probably sharing where it's at and stuff too. So
absolutely.
That's exciting. That's really cool. So let's talk. I like to know, when you think back through the book and all of the work that went in, all the stories that go in, all the thoughts that go in, all the value that's in the book, is there one specific either chapter, story, paragraph, sentence, whatever in the book that just really what's the word I'm looking for, that stands out in your mind as like, this is a thing that if they take away one thing from this book, I hope that they take away this. If they read the entire thing and they only walk away, I'm a firm believer that even the most incredible books in the world, you really only take away 1 to 2 really, really crucial things from those books.
Yeah.
And if you can take away 1 to 2, that's okay, because that has ability to change your life in a positive way. So if there was that 1 to 2 things in this book that you hope people are going to take away, what would that be in your head?
So there's about 130 pages filled with those. And that's the fun thing is that earlier this week, somebody asked me, how long did it take me to write this book? And I said, seriously, it's been 21 years. As long as I've been in education, I've really been working on this. No, I'm not going to run for Secretary of Ed. not going to happen. Anyway, it's taken me about 21 years to sift through this, because my thoughts have completely evolved. Every single year I've been in education, I've learned some new things. I've taken away some things. And I actually said this in one of the webinars I did this week, is that every time I do a webinar, it shifts and changes too, because of the conversations I have with people. And so what I want people to take away from this book is that you're not going to pick up this book and walk away with a how-to recipe guide for what you need to do in your classroom. Day 1, here's the assessment you need to do. Day 2, here's the assessment. That's not what this book is about. This book, it gives you mindsets, and it does give you some of those tactical takeaways, some of those practical things that you can then take and shift and then make useful for your own classroom. I say all the time, there's no standard way to do standards-based instruction. There's no standard way to do assessment. If anybody comes to you and says this is the way, they're selling themselves. This is a way. This is an answer, but it's not the answer. I'm hoping that people will take this and they'll use it, and that every single person that reads through these pages will take something different away based off of where they are. And that was probably the most challenging part of this, is writing it so that both new teachers could take something and use it without getting completely overwhelmed. Because I know a lot of new teachers walk in and they're ready to change the world. They've got that Michelle Pfeiffer mentality. They're going to go take on the world, and they want to go work at the Ron Clark Academy. They want to do all this amazing stuff. And then they're just beat over the head with data for 180 days. And then 3 years later, they've left the profession. And then we've got other teachers that have been teaching, working for 25 or 30 years, who have shifted and evolved and done a whole lot of other stuff. And they've had to dive into data. They had to do the data portfolios. They've had to do a data analysis on kids. They have student data meetings and PLCs. And where they are is at a different place. And I wanted to make this useful for everybody. So no matter where they are, they can pick up something, run with it, and hopefully change what they're doing.
I love that's the goal, because I mean, isn't that what we're trying to do with our students? What we should be doing is meeting them where they're at, right?
Yeah,
and so
that's exactly it.
There's book. What I pulled from that is that your goal with this book is to meet the reader where they're at, so they can take what they need from this. And I love, so you mentioned this, and something that I love, I think I really love about you, Dave, is that when you speak, when you present, when you do your webinars, they do always change, because you've never come at it, never approached it with, I know. It's rather, I have some ideas that might help. Yeah. Let me share them. But then it's always been with the undertone of let's learn and grow together. And that's what you touched on. Like, then that's why it changes every time, because you have this conversation. You're like, I said it like this during a webinar. Someone challenged me and I said, oh, you know what? Maybe I need to phrase that differently. Maybe I didn't see that. That's an angle I'm not. I think that's so crucial as we're talking, we're trying to learn and grow, is to know that, like, you may be very confident in what you know and what you're trying to say, but that doesn't mean it's perfect, right? That doesn't mean you're always right. And so learning and growing, I mean, that's the Teach Better mindset right there, wrapped up, is it's all about just being a little bit better. And that means we have to learn and grow, which means we shift the way that we think and we talk. So I love that about you. And I love that was the point of the book. So
and one of the things that I think is interesting is that there's nothing in this book that I write down or I think, hey, this is what I did in my classroom, so just do it. Because I can be very real and very honest with you and tell you that 90% of the stuff I did not do in my classroom. It's a bunch of stuff I wish I had done in my classroom, but I didn't, because back then I didn't know better. I was doing the absolute best I could, and I thought I was killing it. I thought I was the best teacher ever. I mean, seriously, just ask my coworkers or the students. I would verbally say I am the best teacher around, but I was so missing the mark. So the book isn't filled with, if you want to become an itty bitty schmitty, just do this. That's not what it is. It's not, I did this, you copy me. That's not the goal. It's, wow, here's a complete misstep I made, something I wish I would have done. Let's try it and figure out how it works.
I love that. I want to say good morning to more people that jumped in. Carly, good morning. Let's see. Jillian, good morning. Michelle, good morning. Danielle, good morning. Phil was the one who said maybe run for Secretary of Ed. I'm just letting you know right now, like, I got you back if we want to make that run.
Nice.
Like, we can figure that out. Let's do that. Van Scott, good morning, sir.
If I ever ran for the Secretary of Education, I would be one of those people that would probably last a year. See, the issue is that's not an elected position. You're appointed.
It's appointed.
So you have to be the
so we got to make the connection.
And just follow the company line, and that's hard. If you're president, I'll do it. But other than that,
okay. So then, what I'm hearing, if I heard you right, is that I'm going to run for president.
Done.
And then boom, appointed. Okay, cool. I don't think that's going to work out very well. That would be a horrible choice for president. But I think you would be an awesome choice for Secretary of Education. Anyway, getting off topic there. Nicholas, good morning. Christy, good morning. Nicholas just got a notification that his book is on the way. Looking forward to reading the book. Woo! Wishing I had done some of the things that we learned about in the book. I love it. Look at that. Of all people.
Wow.
She's just bucking for an advisor position. She's hoping she can get something like that. Ray will be my Kellyanne Conway. Anyway, moving me on this conversation.
Wow.
So we're live again tonight today at 4 o'clock for Cocktails and Randomness. Then you're live tonight at 7 o'clock Eastern time with your Edge Match group with Ray joining you there with the amazing Mandy Freilich and sounds like 6 other people that are going to be popping in for an hour, right, which gets me excited because now it's like, all right, who is that? So, there you go, Ray. That's what it was. Ray wants VP.
Well,
all right, Ray, let's do
what
that.
happens? What happens to the VP when the president meets their demise?
Oh,
she's got plans.
I see what's going on here. Anyway, I don't even know where I was going right now. So I'm curious if you're watching, if you're curious, I would like to know, who do you think the 6 are that are dropping in with Dave tonight with his Edge Match crew? I'm curious about that because I'm trying to think through who might be dropping in there. I'm thinking, is Sarah dropping in? Maybe Rochelle Danae Poth?
There's a punk rock principal that might be there.
Oh, no way. Is Mike dropping in?
Mike Earnshaw might be there. Yeah.
Boy, you just kind of gave that away. What about I'm going to give
now
it's so not punk rock, Dave.
Sorry.
Dad, Caitlin, Michelle. Does Ray know, or is she just guessing?
She has. I have no idea.
Is Jeff Kaplan dropping in? That'd be sweet drop in. Where's Kaplan at? How's he not awake right now? Anyway, so super excited. So if you haven't figured out already, I've got it going across the bottom where you can go get Dave's new book, Make an Assessment Work for Educators Who Hate Data But Love Kids. And that's at schmittou.net or on Amazon. Just search it. You can search his name or search that. I'm pretty sure if you search your name, you're the only one comes up. Are there many other Schmittou authors out there right now?
Not authors. However, my dad is Dave Schmittou as well. So
are you a junior then?
I'm not. We have different middle names. Actually, growing up, everybody knew me by my middle name. I was a Matthew until
David Matthew.
Yeah, so I was Matthew to everybody. And then I reached this point in life where I thought David was an adult name because that was my dad's name and Matthew was a kid name. Sure, so I wanted everybody to see me as an adult. So I just start calling me Dave now instead of Matthew, and it completely threw my parents for a loop. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep.
I'm trying to decide whether I want to start calling you Matthew or not.
No, don't do that.
That might happen. There it is, Matthew Schmittou.
If she does that, I'm gonna start calling her Rachel, so she better watch it.
Ooh, you did not just do that. She is gonna pull your hashtag Team Ray. That's what I call Ray.
That's funny.
When I need to get her attention. So for those of you who are watching who don't know, because she can't stop me right now, Ray's name is Rachel. Well, she hasn't gone by Rachel in years. But her dad and I, when we met, it was like we bonded right away because he calls her Rachel, obviously, daughter wife. Yeah. But we connected really well, and that's sort of our thing. Actually, in fact, his mom and dad sent a picture. They both got hashtag Team Ray shirts, and then he sent me a second picture. He had put a piece of paper over here that said hashtag Team Rachel. Which, by the way, like that tells you what you need to know about Ray's mom and dad. They're just awesome.
Amazing.
They're so much fun. So anyway, good morning, Becky. Good to see you. So super excited for you, Dave. This is really awesome. I'm so pumped that I got to come on and share this with you and that we're able to do whatever we can to help support you with this. I'm excited about tonight to see who the guests are. So that's super cool. Hey, Hans is with us. Good morning, Hans.
Yet another early riser.
I know. Well, yeah, but Hans and Jen are up like so early. They're crazy early morning risers. They're always up. Like we never worry about like waking them up early because they're always up. They're like they get up so early and get to work. It's crazy. And they were up late with us last night too.
Yeah.
Which not as late for them, I guess, because just anyway, whatever. Still
Whatever.
early. So Jen's probably already done yoga, and they probably walked with the dog. They probably recorded like 4 podcast episodes. Jen probably wrote 2 more books. He says that they don't sleep. There you go. So good to see you, Hans. I actually get to chat with Hans in a little bit. But Dave, super pumped for you. Excited for everything that's going on to be a part of it. Cocktails are gonna be fun because you're kind of like you're on a little trip right now. You're relaxing. You're chilling out.
Yeah.
So like we're gonna try and talk about, I think, during cocktails more about like where you're at and the scenery and all that. I want to talk about the beautiful Ohio scenery that you drove through.
It was pretty impressive. It was, honestly. What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to see if I can't get my MacBook positioned somehow like on a ski lift or something. That's because there's nobody here. Who's going to stop me? I'm just going to go sit on a little ski lift and see what I can. I don't know if it's going to be possible, but I'll try.
What resort are you at? What ski resort?
This is called Smuggler's Notch.
Oh, Smuggler's Notch, yeah.
It is gorgeous here. We are just tucked away.
That's a great ski resort. So yeah, I mean obviously no one's skiing right now. So yeah, let's see that. So Dave, now we all expect you to have your MacBook on a ski lift.
I'll do something. Yeah,
that is now what is expected.
Can we do cocktails on Zoom so I can, even if I have to do a fake backdrop or something, I can show. I don't know.
So we'll go take a picture and put it up there. No, so we'll be back at 4:00 Eastern time. Dave and I doing cocktails and randomness. Then tonight at 7:00 Eastern time, Dave will be all over social media on his social media. You can watch him.
And then tomorrow at 2:00. Tomorrow at 2:00, I get to hang out with Caitlin.
Oh, is Caitlin with you tomorrow at 2:00?
I mean, this is
back here. Awesome.
It's a dream week. Yeah.
Hey, our Canadian friends are here. What's up, Che? Good to see you, buddy. I always like seeing Che. He's probably lifting tires or something already this morning.
That man's a beast.
So 2:00 tomorrow with Caitlin. Are you doing something this week with Chad too?
Next week with Chad. So
next week with Chad. Okay.
Yeah. So
gotcha.
Tonight
awesome.
Today I've got cocktails with you, and then 7:00 with Mandy.
7:00.
Tomorrow I got 2:00 with Caitlin, and then 5:00 tomorrow with Chuck Poole. I don't know if you are familiar with the work of Chuck Poole.
Chuck.
Yeah,
Chuck's awesome.
So I hang out with Chuck, and then Friday, Melody McAllister. So there's just so many people I'm connecting with this week. It's awesome.
Yes. So make sure the easiest way, guys, just follow at Dave Schmittou on whether that's on Twitter or Instagram, so you can connect with him. You see everywhere he is. And just get on all these lives and keep hearing different parts of his book and everything that's going on. But Dave, super proud of you, super excited for you. Thanks everyone for jumping on. Mike, good to see you, sir. Che said he finished at 7K, was up early like Hans. Good job, Che. Anyway, appreciate everyone chiming in and hanging out with us. Dave, appreciate you, brother. Congrats again. And I will see you at 4:00 for cocktails and randomness, brother.
See you there.